So there's a storm, moon, spider, another spider, storm, another spider. I really want to get 2 moons on this first draw here, because with a humanity of 5, I can actually discover 2 things per turn, which is really useful. We're going to stop here. What we're going to do is use this guy. We could use the green token, the willow, to move 1 hex. We're not going to do that. What we're going to do is we're going to run and get behind this wall. That triggers a perception check, but we are out of this guy's line of sight. There's a wall here. So he doesn't become active. I got some spider tokens to get rid of here as well. First, I'm going to do some discovering. Can drop those 2 down there. Now the way this works is I've got this discovery card here. It's underneath a face down discovery card, and whenever I do the discover action, I'm going to reveal the bottom line. So here we have junk, full hex, and 2 slivers of junk. I don't actually have those made right now, but they're going to go in our carried objects. When I find something better, I'll throw away and replace. So that's that. Then I've done, this one's a generic, but I've done 1 humanity action. That one's generic. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this green one and do the serendipity action for my 1 magic action. What that does, it allows me to save a token, so I'm going to save this for the next round. Then I'm going to use this little guy and perform the patience action, which allows me to return a token. And we're left with this one here. I don't want it to go on my stress meter, so I'm just going to sink it into the stealth action, reducing all enemy perception by 1. So that was my turn. So then the event track goes up by 1. And we go to the enemy's turn. Now I'm going to terrify you with the enemy action flowchart. Dun, 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 dun. It's horrific, isn't it? It's actually quite easy. I'll get into that later. We don't need to go through this now because we have no active enemies. So we go right back to turn 2. This one's saved from last time. Pop those back in there. And we're going to be drawing. Now, I chose a build with a bit less combat. I have 4 combat. I could have gone 5 and maybe 4 humanity. So I don't have enough to reduce perception by 2 in 1 turn. So that guy is going to spot me with his 2 perception when I move up, unfortunately. So what I want to do is, instead of trying to take him out unseen, I want to draw him off of that 4 cover hex, because that's going to reduce his damage when he's active. I'm going to keep drawing here. I want to get some movement. There's 1 movement. There's another discovery. It's good to get those out. See, now this is the push your luck thing. I have way too many tokens here, but we'll see what we can work with. I'm going to need 1 more moon token here. Nope. There we go. Alright. So I'm going to move 1 hex. That triggers a perception check. And this guy spots me. Lab sec, that's lab security. And he's got some key words on him here. military with an arrow over it. That means he's really good at doing military stuff. The agenda keyword and the spider. So those are going to take effect on the enemy turn according to that terrifying flowchart. Right now we don't see him yet, so we can't actually target him with anything, so we're going to put a moon token on the spot action, and then we've got him in our sights. So got a couple actions left here. We can't actually hit him on that 4 cover hex. We're basically unarmed. We can just do melee. So we can use one of those to move out of sight. Well, let's see what we pull up. There might be a weapon lying on a lab bench somewhere beside us here. 2 slivers of junk and nothing. Nothing doing, son. Alright, so we are going to save 1 action for next time. It's going to be a red token there. I'm going to sink that into stealth again. And then we're going to do 2 patience actions to return our last 2 tokens. So no stress yet. This is good. So the event tracker goes up 1. Nothing happened there. Now we look at this flowchart. Now this guy had agenda, military, and spider. So and I really should have moved there. So this is going to hurt because he sees me. Agenda triggers first. Agenda flowcharts are mission specific. You can see on the agenda keyword effect. Alarm. Move the event card up 5 lines. 2, 3, 4, 5. It says introduce new enemy on exit 1. So we're going to grab another of these lab sec guys. Yeesh. Alright. Grab that guy. It's random. We don't know what's under him. I'm going to put him there. He's waiting to come in on exit 1 there. And his action actually stops there. So he's just blowing the whistle this turn. So we're going to take our tokens back here. Whoops. Now we don't want to do him doing that again. Unfortunately, we're going to have to spend a turn getting him out of cover there because I screwed up last time. So let's see what we draw. There we can move out of the area. Do a bit more discovering. Yeah, I'm going to stop there. Alright, so run around like a chicken with his head cut off. I'm going to do that twice to put me back there. I'm going to do 1 more discover this turn. The reason I'm not doing 2 is you can only discover 5 things on each hex map. I found the weapon. So now we're in a slightly better position to do some stuff here. I need to use the serendipity action to save this one for next turn. Now, event tracker is going to go up again. Ooh. All enemies move 1 hex closer. By the way, I forgot to put out that last turn. But it's a moot point because he's moving in before his turn, which is too bad because it means he's got eyes on me before he acts. Now, enemies always move into the best cover possible. So he moved into the hex with one cover. Now this is really bumming me out here, because now this guy with 4 perception has got line of sight all the way there or there. So, moving through, we got the agenda keyword again. He's basically just gonna keep blowing the whistle on me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that finishes off that event card, and here it says if 2 completed event cards are on the table, a queue happens, and story queues have various effects. They're mission specific. I'm going to put that aside. That's 1 completed event card. We're going to draw another one and slap this other one under it. You maybe saw some stuff there. I didn't, I promise you. Alright, so we got this one. We're lucky we found the weapon early on this particular discovery card. I'm going to pull our tokens back here. So even though we sort of goofed it up in the beginning, we got this guy off of his cover, and we're going to see if we can't rip him a new one here. I'm going to keep going here. Alright, this is getting ridiculous. I need some movement. Come on. Yeah, that'll have to do. Got way too many tokens. I'm worried about getting some stress here. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to use the weapon's melee attack, which deals a base of 5 damage. It takes 2 of these storm tokens. 1, and the adjacent card here says assign any unassigned token to an adjacent card to complete its action. That action deals +1 damage. So that means we can use up one of these superfluous moon tokens and do that instead. So we're dealing him 6 damage. He's on a 1 cover hex. He's got 1 toughness. That's 2. That means we're 4 over his wound threshold here. We more than double it, in fact. So we're going to draw a wound token. Only got a piddling little 2-sliver wound token. There's a clockwise symbol, so we place that clockwise from his title. And that covered up his spider keyword. However, we more than doubled his damage. We went 2 over double, in fact, so he's going to get 2 incapacitated tokens, which means he's not going to be doing anything for the next 2 rounds, and that suits us just fine. That's 1 combat action there. We could hit him again and try and finish him off, or we could leave him. It's not such an easy decision taking a life, because as a Promethean, when you take a life, your artificial soul will sort of pull the victim's soul into its vacuum, at least a bit of it, and that would give us another storm token. That guy had the storm keyword, making us more aggressive. Basically our decision pool will be affected. So we don't really want to do that right now. However, advancing further than this is going to be difficult, because we've got this guy sitting waiting for us. What we can do, 2, 3, we don't actually have enough movement to get very far there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. can do. So we can stealth it a bit. Because this guy looks to 1, 2, 3, 4. So now he's only seeing us to there. Then I'm going to step into the adjacent hex here. And I'm going to spot that guy. So let's see what we're working with here. This guy is a techie, full-on techie. So when he becomes active, he's going to put a machine into play. And he's going to be triggering that machine every round. And keeping it in good order. That machine could be a medbot or a turret or a sense net. And they're all very bad things for us. So I want to take him out before it gets that far. Luckily, he's weak and he's on a zero cover hex. And I still have 2 combat actions left. So, got the long range option with this weapon is strike an enemy within 4 hexes and in line of sight for 4 damage. That increases perception to 2 for the round. So he is going to see me, but I think it might be worth it if I can cover up those keywords and maybe even incapacitate him. I should have saved that one for this action because it's more important to incapacitate him, but I couldn't have known that. So we're going to drop those there. That's 4 damage. We still more than double his toughness of 1. It's 4 over 1, so he's going to get 2 incapacitated tokens on him as well, in addition to a wound, so we're actually not doing too bad. And another piddling little tiny one. This one goes clockwise as well, so we cover up one of his 2 techie keywords. More importantly, he gets 2 incapacitated tokens on him. And he hasn't actually seen me yet. He's not active. So, I'm just going to use our patience action to return our last token so we don't get stressed out here. That was that round. I don't know what happened with that. Oh yeah, it's a new event card. Nothing happens this turn. As far as the enemies go, the only active ones are incapacitated. The only thing they do is to remove one of these incapacitated tokens. And then we're on to my round again. So let's gather our tokens here. It's very nice finding the weapon this early on. Makes our job a lot easier. What would be nice is to be able to move into here now without getting spotted by these guys. So we're going to need to use our 1 stealth action here. We're going to need a blue token. And we're going to need some movement. Ask and ye shall receive. There's our 1 movement. And then we can run from there. And we can hit that guy hard. Might want to take that guy out on the way actually. So we're going to need some moon tokens. Again, lucky draw. That's all we needed there. And should we keep drawing? We're going to keep drawing. We want to have some options because we don't know what's going to happen around the corner. We want to remain flexible. I think that'll do us here. Alright. So, first order of business. Reduce all enemy perception. Second order of business. Move up here. No perception checks triggered. And then we're going to run around the corner, which is going to negate that and bring perception back up. But it's alright because we're still four away from this guy with 3 perception. now that we've got a bit of an edge in this area, one guy's down, we might go for one of these exits instead of that one. So what to do with these remaining tokens? 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy's just in range of our long range shot. So we might just do that to start off. We can actually use this ability and substitute a green one in there. I don't think we need that one. So we're doing 5 damage to this guy. And he's got 1 toughness. He's on 1 cover, so that's 2. -1 for being incapacitated is 1. And he's got 4 revealed slivers on his hex there. So 1 and 4 is 5. Our damage actually meets his toughness plus his revealed slivers, which means it's an auto kill. There's a bit of a risk assessment thing here. Now we're going to get a spider token, an extra spider token, into our draw pool. We just got craftier and sneakier and possibly crueler. There she sits. But I think it's worth it. This guy also dropped a weapon. That's an SMG, so if we need it, we can run back and get that. Now we want to focus on hitting this guy. So we're going to strike him for 5 damage with our melee attack here. And he's got 4 remaining slivers and 1 toughness. He's on a 0 cover hex. And he's incapacitated. So again, that's an auto kill. And that's without him having even seen us. So now I feel a bit sneaky. 2 guys down right there. Now he had the moon keyword on him, so we just rebalanced that aspect of us. Now we're lacking a bit of storm and willow in our balance, which is kind of unfortunate. Oh yeah, our last known position is currently... Where were we last seen? Been forgetting to keep track of that. Well, this guy saw us here. That would have been it. And he would have called that in there. So, from here, this guy can barely not see us. He's got 2 perception. Extra one there. So that's pretty sweet. And one other thing I forgot, that last guy I smoked, he was a techie. He was good at it, which meant he would have had a data rig. So I'm going to steal that. That's in the special objects. Grenade, grenade. Here's the data rigs. So I'm going to put that into my carried objects here. So right now I'm hanging on to 4 slivers of hardware, 2 slivers of junk, and another 2 slivers of junk, and the data rig. The data rig is going to allow me to mess with their machines, their turrets and stuff, if they put me out. So I'm going to, let's see here, yeah. That required a discover token right there. And then this last, patience. Patience, young Padawan. So, we're doing quite well here. New event. Nothing happened, no active enemies. So, I'm going to clear our tokens. This could have gone very differently if we hadn't found our weapon by now. We could have been in it up to our necks. We're going to see what we draw here. Moon token. Spider. Another spider. Luckily we have another sink for those spider tokens now. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to stealth it a bit and get our eyes on this guy. This guy is going to spot us regardless, I think. You know what, we're going to stop there. We're going to take it easy. We can actually spot this guy from where we're standing. 1, 2, 3. It's a short path. One of the shortest paths to that hex. The other path has a wall in it. But we can still get line of sight to him here. I'm going to spot him, see what he's all about. Labsec, 3 toughness, he's a bit tougher. Techie and Moon. It's another one of those irritating techies. So again, we're going to want to take him out pretty quickly. And we're going to want to do it before he activates and makes use of that cover. Again, he's inactive there. Right now all we have to deal with is 3. We don't have a second moon token to do that, but we do have this little nifty fixer-upper, so we can go like so, sink one of those extra green ones in there. And that means we're actually hitting him for 5 damage. Now the downside to this is 1, 2, 3, 4. It increases perception by 2. So this guy's going to spot us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we stealth first, this guy won't spot us. That moon keyword means he's a bit more intelligent, and he's going to alert his fellows who are within line of sight if I let him on his turn. So that's another reason to take him down quickly. We're dealing him 5 damage. He's got 3 toughness. His cover doesn't count, so that's over his wound threshold. We're going to give him a wound. See what we get here. Oh, well, that's very handy. As you can tell by my horrific foreign alphabet, that says incapacitated, and it's placed clockwise. That covers up his moon, not his techie. But that's okay for this turn at least, because he will get 1 incapacitated token. So we're doing quite well here. Now we just have to get rid of these other tokens. Oh yeah, and this guy spotted me now. He's starting to think that something's up. Labsec, 2 toughness, military, techie, moon. He's active, so he's gonna get a weapon and put a machine into play right away as well. Let's see what we draw on the weapon stack here. He gets a shotgun, which is good for me because he won't be in range on the first turn here. Just gonna pop that up there. And he puts a machine into play on the adjacent best cover. That's a medbot. It's going on this 3 cover hex here, which is fine by me, because they're going to have to move away from it if they're going to want to hit me. So wasn't a very strategic placement on their part. Now I still got these tokens to get rid of, so I'm going to hang on to a green for next turn, and then run around like a chicken with his head cut off again. 1, 2, and back. So now it's the enemy's turn. Now they've got a bit more to work with. New event, nothing. So now that we've got multiple enemies, I'm going to go through it one at a time, left to right. This lab sec, his techie keyword triggers first. There are no wounded machines. So he's going to move up to 2 hexes towards the nearest machine. He's already done that. He does not have a data rig, so he's just sitting tight and playing Minecraft or something. Now, the medbot doesn't have any wounds to heal, so the only other enemy, he's actually not active either, so we're good. It's back to my turn again. Whoop, that's our data rig. I'll save that one from last turn. Oh yeah, this guy lost that last turn. Let's see here what we pull. Nice. We got enough to take him down, so we're going to do that. First, we're going to stealth it a bit so this guy doesn't wake up and smell the coffee. Bam, bam. So we hit him just same as last time. He's still inactive. Whoops, it's the wrong cup. We got the wound tokens. That's the other incapacitated one. And that's actually enough to cover his hex, so he's out of there, man. Take him out nice and smooth. He's going to go back there. Nice silent kill, falling amongst the beakers. And that should have been removed when he spotted me here, actually. Alright. Still got some other tokens to get rid of here. We do not have another moon token, otherwise we could move around the corner and spot him. We might just run for it and let him spot us, because I want to. We actually might have enough movement to get out right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can't move any more than that, so no we don't. Decisions. Alright. I'm going to save this red one. And then we're basically just going to go back and forth. Confused, newly awakened Promethean. So the event track goes up. And the enemies, this guy's going to be doing the same thing. So, no problemo. Well, we've already completed one event track, so we should actually be doing these 2 at a time. So we should be at 8 revealed action events. So that's my mistake. So some things have actually happened. Move enemy 3 hexes closer. So that's counting 1, 2, 3. That would have been the guy that was incapacitated. That wouldn't have actually mattered. Introduce new enemy. Exit 2. That's bad news for us. So I'm going to pick a random LabSec guy here. LabSec 3 again, we don't know what's under him. So, exit 2 is looking pretty sweet now. Exit 3, I mean. So we'll do that. This one was saved. Yeah. Alright. We're back on track. Picking up my tokens here. See what we get. Basically, as it stands, we don't even need to spot this guy. All we need is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movement, which we can barely pull off in a turn. There's our 2 greens. Right now I don't even mind if we get stress. In fact, dumping them all because I know I got enough reds in there. So, moving. He's going to spot us, of course. Just out of curiosity, wonder what he's all about. He's a techie. So he could cause problems for us if we stuck around long enough to find out. Then 2 from there, 1, 2. And the final is a combat action, moving into exit 3. So we made it out of there. Next we would have found a carried object. And if it had gone 1 turn more, 2 turns more, we would have another Q on the mission, which would have been removing a random 2 of the exits. So it was actually closer than it felt, because that could have really boned us there. So that's a playthrough of Promethean. Woo! Our little guy made it out, and he would then move on to the next mission based on what happened in this mission. How many Qs took place, if he killed someone or didn't kill someone, if he was spotted on his way out or if the last known position marker was in play instead, and so on. So there are a few different ways to get through a mission, and they're all going to impact your storyline. So I hope you enjoyed this little sneak peek. It's turned into quite a long sneak peek actually, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Joachim Heiss from Excision Games signing off with Promethean.